It's Wine Wednesday Live. How you doing? It's Brian, and we are going to do a battle royale about Merlot today. Haven't done this yet. I'm going to do a taste test. We're going to try two different Merlots, a more expensive one and a less expensive one, both rated pretty highly, and we'll see if the difference in price is noticeable. We'll also talk about one of the most reputable Napa Valley vintners in the world, somebody who started as one of the original 40 Napa wineries back in 1976, the Duckhorn family. And we'll tell some fun stories and give you a chance to win a great prize. So let me know you're here. Give me a like, give me a hello, because you could win a $50 gift card to Experience Washington Platform for free. That's a great restaurant going back to 1875. And if you love seafood, Oyster Fest starts on Friday. So not only do you get great live entertainment, but great food as well. Hello, Heidi. And just let me know you're here, and you have a chance to win that, and I will reach out to somebody directly on Facebook to tell you if you won, probably about this time tomorrow. So say hi, whether it's live or on demand. So, funny story. I think it's funny. So I was doing some research, as I always do, so I'm prepared for these broadcasts with you. And I thought, who's really good when it comes to Merlot? And really, the best Merlot in the world, well, let me rephrase that. The best Merlot in America is in Napa, and it's by the Duckhorn family, and they really kind of made a conscious decision when they started back in 1976 to offer a luxury Merlot when everybody else was going Cabernet or something else. They decided, you know what? Merlot's a good grape. We're going to make some really, really nice wine, and they kind of staked their claim by making Merlot kind of a big deal. Hello, Rhonda and Terry. So I thought, yeah, let's do Duckhorn, because I've actually been there. It's one of the places I actually visited. And it's a beautiful spot and a legendary producer. And I saw a special on wine.com. If you ever want to order wines and you can't find it locally, I buy a lot from wine.com. And it was like $28.99, a 93-point Merlot from Duckhorn. I thought, $28.99, that's fantastic, because that's reasonable, under 30 bucks. And I got it, and this was the bottle. No! Tiny little mini bottle of Merlot. I mean, I'm sure it tastes fine, but I was kind of expecting a full-size bottle for $28.99. So how much, you may ask, is the full-size bottle? $50. So then it got me to thinking, well, you know what? Duckhorn also makes Decoy wine. You probably see that in the grocery store. So how about a Decoy Merlot versus a Duckhorn Merlot? Same company, same winemaker, same area, different prices. Will we be able to tell the difference? So we're doing a little battle royale today. The Battle of Merlot 2021. Duckhorn versus Decoy. Hello, Al and Scott and Elise. So first things first, I got a chance to go to Napa about a decade ago. Very memorable trip. And one of the places I went to was Duckhorn. And I was blown away by this place because they had this amazing tasting area. And it opened up into the vineyard, and we got a chance to walk through the vineyard and look at the grapes. And we went into this big fermentation area and heard Natasha Bedingfield sing. Acoustic's not great, but the experience was fantastic. And I'll never forget this place because they had chairs, like Adirondack chairs, set out in the vineyard. And I sat there drinking this amazing wine under this gorgeous tree. And I actually have a picture of it, and it didn't print very well. But this gives you an idea of the area that we're talking about here. Isn't that gorgeous? This is the Three Palms Vineyard. And back in 1976, the Duckhorn family decided to make a go of it, and very, very humble beginnings. This is Dan and Margaret Duckhorn, one of their first vintages. And, just a few tanks, and they got the juice wherever they could find it. And again, they staked their claim on Merlot being something definitely worthwhile. luxury Merlot is what they ended up putting out there, because the conditions in this Three Palms vineyard were spectacular. It is now known as one of the best vineyards in the world to grow that grape. Hello, Teresa. And it got me to thinking about Merlot as a grape, because old world wine in Bordeaux, really, really expensive stuff. And when you talk about right bank Bordeaux, that's generally the Merlot grape, predominantly Merlot. And some of these bottles, like Chateau Petrus, go for thousands of dollars a bottle. And that is generally a Merlot wine. Right bank Bordeaux is primarily that. The best Napa Merlot is Three Palms, as I mentioned, from Duckhorn. That's like a $200 bottle right there. Obviously, that's a little bit too rich for our taste and our budget. So I thought I would just give it a go and try Decoy, which is a 90-point wine, versus the $50 Duckhorn Merlot, their signature Merlot, which is 93 points, according to James Suckling. So how do you think it's going to go? Hello, Sharon and Cynthia. So we'll compare the color, we'll compare the aroma, and obviously the taste, and see if we can crown a winner. Who do you think is going to win? Nobody's saying anything. And don't forget, let me know you're here, because $50 from Washington Platform could be yours. You know, it's like an old speakeasy, Washington Platform. And they're actually there before Prohibition, and they're still there today. And they have some amazing, amazing seafood, as well as a lot of other things. But great live entertainment too. And boy, don't we miss that in this age of COVID. How many are waiting for the return of big concerts downtown, right? Lucinda says, cheaper wins. Well, you're probably right. It's not about quality, it's about quantity, right? So because this is a big grape, a big wine, made in the Napa Cabernet kind of style, I'm going to give this a little air and see how we do. So right away, the color of this, you'd be hard-pressed to look at it just color alone and see any difference between this and a lush Napa Cabernet. I mean, it's just a dark ruby color. And the aroma of this is something else. And again, one of the markers of a really, really good wine, not only the finish, which we've talked about before, but the nose. And this one is just incredible. Plum and cherry, and you know, it smells a little bit like strawberry jam to me. And that's a nice smell. My mom used to make that at home. So a lot going on, just smell-wise. And how does it taste? I gave it a little bit of air. I poured it with the aerator, because again, this is a wine that should probably open up for a little bit before you drink it, but we're going to soldier on because we have a limited amount of time. Cheers. Okay, so right away, the cherry flavor comes through, the plum. It's got this really nice, there's like a spine of tingly acidity, which is really good, because you don't want it to be, again, too sweet, too flat. It's interesting on the tongue. It tingles on the tongue. And then at the very end, which I'm still tasting, there's this nice sort of dusty cocoa, almost like a coffee finish. And it's still going. So a $50, I'll tell you what, if you were to take this particular wine, the Duckhorn Merlot, and serve it to a friend of yours that hates on Merlot and only drinks Napa Cab, they would love this, because they would have a hard time telling the difference. I mean, they basically have the same parent. You know, Merlot's father is Cabernet Franc, which is the same father as Cabernet Sauvignon. So similar wines, but this is definitely a step above your average Merlot. Teresa also says the cheaper one. And Heidi says she thinks Decoy will win. Well, let's see about that. So Decoy is $19.99, 90 points from Wine Enthusiast. Decoy, we should talk also about the Duckhorn family of wines. I mean, it started off once again with a couple that just wanted to make really good wine. 1976, humble beginnings, and they expanded, and they expanded, and they expanded. And at first I thought, well, these guys must really like duck hunting. I was thinking I saw Paraducks and Goldeneye and Migration and Decoy and Duckhorn. I thought, well, they must really like ducks, right? Then I realized their actual name is Duckhorn. But it was kind of clever how they have all these different wines in their portfolio. And I'll tell you, they're branching out into Washington State now. And if you want a really, really nice Cabernet from Washington State that tastes every bit as good as a Napa Cabernet, but not nearly as expensive, it's like $39 for a 94-point wine, Canvasback by the Duckhorn family. 39 bucks. Really, really good. Okay, so this, in the smaller glass, is the Decoy. So again, similar color. And I've had Decoy Merlot before. Not quite as much of a nose, but it still smells nice. I mean, it's got a nice cherry, a little blueberry in there too. But, you know, not as layered. And I would imagine the taste is going to be side by side, not quite the same, but let's see how they differ, shall we? You know, surprisingly similar. This one has a little bit more tang to it. It's definitely a little lighter, whereas this tastes like a really big, this is a wine that makes you stop. I kind of classify the wines as slow or fast. This is a little bit faster because you can drink it and it's not like, whoa, what's going on in my mouth? It's just really, really nice. Whereas the Duckhorn Merlot, it's like, wait, what am I tasting? What is this? What is this? Oh, there's a new flavor. There's a lot more layers to it. But I'll tell you what, for $18.99 bottle, Decoy Merlot, pretty good. Okay. I mean, I would have to give, you know, the overall craftsmanship of these two Merlots, I'd have to give it up for Duckhorn because it's just got more going on. But for the price, and for a similar taste, a luxury Merlot maker knows what they're doing, obviously. Decoy Merlot, check it out. If you're looking for something different than Cabernet or a red blend, check out the Decoy Merlot. That's pretty darn good. Lucinda says, good to know. So once again, Duckhorn. Many, many wines in this portfolio started off by the Duckhorn family. And this week, I decided to do it this week because they just went public. So imagine, if you will, a family winery that starts humbly in 1976, like this, going public with an initial public offering of $100 million. That's what happens sometimes when everything just happens to work in your favor. And the Duckhorn family is now publicly traded. The ticker symbol is Napa, and if you play the stock market, you can pick up a share or two for $15 each if you want to invest in the Napa wine industry. Duckhorn folks are good. Okay, so once again, let me know that you're here because somebody's going to win that $50 Washington Platform gift certificate, and it might as well be you. I mean, free food, right? What's wrong? You can't argue with that. They've got a pretty nice drink list as well. And then next week, if there's a suggestion that you have, a wine you want me to try, definitely leave that in the comments for me. And if you've missed some of the broadcasts that I've done, you can catch up on YouTube. Slowly but surely, I'm putting all the old broadcasts up there for you to just sort of look at when you want. Because sometimes it's hard to navigate on the Facebook page. But we're here every Wednesday at 4:30, and I hope to see you next week.